anytime that, I get someone on the show that has that much like experience with a variety of different type of companies, I like to ask about trends that you see, right? Not trends, commonalities, right? So you look at the companies that are successful, that are building, that are profitable, that have great cultures. What are some of the things that they have in common? And then the flip side of that, you see some companies that kind of struggle year after year, never really get traction. Like, what are some of the things that those guys might be missing, or some blind spots they might be having?
I think a lot of people downplay, and we're going to keep going back to the same topic, but I think a lot of people downplay the importance of leadership in their companies. Where I think a lot of, like, I saw a post recently that was, what are some of the biggest pitfalls, or why do roofing companies fail within the first couple of years, all this stuff. And I looked through the comments and I was like, this, like, everything just falls on leadership.
It does.
Because if you have strong leadership at the top, you're developing leaders along the way, you're helping the people in your downline, with leadership skills, and like, you are a transformational leader yourself, where you're setting the vision and you're keeping people accountable, and you are, you see the issues before they come up. Like, those are all leadership skills. Like, if you literally just focus on developing as a leader and developing other leaders, literally everything else will fall into place. Again, I don't hear that as people saying, oh, I need to develop as a leader. But when I hear people's struggles and the things that they're going through, the first thing that comes to my mind is, you just need to work on developing as a leader. So that's what I think is like one of the biggest trends that I see. And I don't think people even realize how important or how big of a deal that is.
No, they don't. And, you're younger. So like, I didn't know that at your age. I'm probably like 10 years older than you. Dude, I have not seen that be disproven yet. And that's probably John Maxwell's most famous line. And he's got like a million, but everything rises and falls on leadership. And when you like boil it down, it might not look like that, like you said, on the surface, right? It might be like, oh, my sales guys suck, or, the market's weird, or the economy is kind of funky right now. Like, whatever it might be. I can't keep good people. Like, when you dig in, it really all does come down to leadership. And I think a lot of people need to take more ownership. That's one of our core values from Jocko, extreme ownership. And, you can take ownership in every situation. All right, my people keep leaving me. Well, why are they leaving? Or our profit margins aren't where they need to be. Well, why is that? It's because we're tolerating less than some kind of standard. So
I think if anyone wants a good book to read and you haven't read the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, I think you should definitely read that, because that just sets the standard for how to develop as a leader. And like, here's 21 things to work on that you can work on to develop as a leader. And one of those is the law of the lid, that says, like, basically, if you are a 7 on leadership, or if you're a 7 just in general, like, your team's not going to be any better than a 6. And so if you want to better your team, you got to better yourself.
I love that. You know what? I'm gonna read that, because I still have not read a Maxwell book. I don't know why. I've read a million books.
Well, if you don't read any other one, just read that one.
Yeah. All right. What's he got? Like 90 books or almost 100 books by now?
Yeah. I mean, I've read like 3 of them, but that's the best one.
All right. Nice. That sums it up. Yeah. That lid thing, I think about that all the time, not in that terminology, but like, I think about like who I need to be the leader for my team. And like, that comes down to the decisions that I make on the weekend, as far as like, if I'm getting enough rest, if I'm reading, if I'm like taking care of my body and eating well and not drinking and things like that. Like, I'm thinking about that Saturday night. I'm thinking about how, like, what I put into my body or how I work out is going to affect my level of leadership, because we got some studs on our team. And if I'm not on my A game, I'm not saying they're going to walk out the door, but if my lid is, if I'm putting a lid on them, then they're going to get frustrated. So,
well, and this is why I've not stopped selling. Like, I've been selling here since day one, and I don't plan to stop selling, because it doesn't matter how much other stuff I have going on. Like, I have to be the example for the sales team. So I have to get as many sales as, and it doesn't even mean that I'm going to have, like, I don't have enough time to be the top salesperson, but I'm not going to be at the bottom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I've not stopped selling, because I want to be I have to set the tone and I have to show them that I'm bringing in as much as everyone else.